Hey furniture friends, welcome back. Today's video I have these two nightstands that are in really good condition. This one here has this crack, a little one, but otherwise these are in really good condition. These are Ethan Allen. Now obviously they are not matching, which is something I didn't know when I bought them. I did not buy them having seen both of them together. I just saw one and I assumed that it was a set, but it's okay. They are similar in style and obviously built by the same company. So here's the smaller one of the two. This one is in a little bit rougher condition than the larger one, but also still lots of life left and really still in really great condition. It's got some chips and scratches at the top surface, but that's really all there is. So I'm gonna try and refresh these guys up. I went on their website and I'm kind of looking at doing something lighter. And I will be making them a matching set, even though they are different. That way I can sell them individually or together. So I'm trying my scraper on the nightstand because sometimes the finishes, there's obviously several layers of clear coat over top these, and when you scrape off the top layer, the sander can do its job a little bit better. I mean, you can sand through all of this, but it'll be a little bit more work. But scraping through this was not easy. If you watched my antique vanity, I did not have to put any pressure on, and here it was like all the pressure I put on didn't seem to matter. Also, those little strands there, they just reminded me of snake skin, which totally creeped me out because I absolutely hate snakes. So yeah, enjoy that. So I just want to come on and say that this is a tool that I got at Harbor Freight. It's a detail scraping tool, and it is extremely helpful. It comes with 6 attachments, and when it comes to these sort of curvy details, these things really help and just make the job a lot cleaner when all is said and done. Obviously, you can do it without it. You don't need this thing, but it was very affordable. I want to say it was like $16 or $17, so not way out there in terms of price. And then here I have these contour sanding blocks, which I just bought on Amazon. And again, also really handy to have when you're doing details like this. You just put your sandpaper over top it and you can just really get into all those grooves. And I'm using a 120 grit here and just going to town. There are several different sizes. Each block has the size on it. They have concave, and then there's also like a rounded edge. So just these are really helpful tools. Again, absolutely not necessary. You could just use a block or, a piece of wood or whatever. But they're good to have, and I got them on Amazon. So if you were wondering why I wasn't using any stripper, it's because I didn't have any and I didn't want to go out and get any. So I did finally go out and get some because getting this stuff off was quite challenging. Sanding that top off took me 20 minutes. Thank goodness for the magic of video because, wow. So yeah, I finally got me some stripper. So I'm going to strip off everything else that I haven't sanded yet. and then I'll go in and sand it. So here's that little crack that I was talking about earlier at the beginning. I think it may have just been in the finish, although you can kind of tell there. I don't really know what the deal is. So I am going to put a little bit of wood filler in there, but it was strange. I couldn't really feel the crack, but I could see it. I couldn't even put my nail in there, you know? So I was kind of like, maybe it was just in the finish. I don't know. But anyhow, I went ahead and put a little bit of wood filler in there, sanded it down before staining. hope the color is coming through all right. I think I like it, but I'm not quite sure. If maybe I need to do another coat. I guess it's what I wanted. It definitely is a nice lighter color than what it was. What I really dislike is you can see the wood filler right there, which is so annoying. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. Can't really see it, at least not on camera, but I don't know, they're quite there. So I'm going to sand everything down. Start over. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to put some dowels in and hope that that's going to do it. And whatever ends up happening, that'll just be that. So the holes are just over 1/4 inch, so I got some 5/16 inch dowels with a drill bit. 5/16. I'm going to just drill the holes, you know, just so that it's nice and proper. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on. I'm going to put them in and cut them off with my saw. With this saw, which I got at Ace. So I'm gathering up a little bit of sawdust, whatever I could catch there, and because I had a little bit of like a little nick. So I'm just going to make some wood filler that's going to match, because obviously that other wood filler doesn't. And it worked out really well just by taking the sawdust and some glue. And those stinking dots are still there. So, you know, sometimes you just can't get around it. But I was just not liking how everything was going. And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to change gears. So I ended up taking, yes, my big saw, because I do not have a jigsaw, and cutting off those little waves. And I'm going to do that with the smaller nightstand as well. I don't know, I just wasn't, that was initially my plan anyway, but then I thought, because I didn't have a proper saw for it, I was like, no, I'm gonna not potentially ruin it. And then at this point, I was disliking them so much, and how the stinking holes and things were just, I felt like they just weren't working out. The stain was just not looking the way I wanted it to, and so I'm like, okay, screw it, I'm just going to try something different. So I ended up going in and cutting all those little waves off. I sanded it down. And then here I was going to do the same thing. And I thought, I'm probably going to chop my finger off if I do that. So I realized I could just take the feet off. And that was actually quite easy, as you can see here. Alright, so here's what I've done. I just cut off this little piece here,
and put the feet back on, and then I gotta restain them.
After I had put the feet on, I did like everything a lot better, was happy with how everything was looking, even the stain looked better somehow, so I did proceed with the top coat. Sometimes you just need a little something and it just changes the whole thing, and that was the situation here. So I'm really glad that I decided to go that route.
So here's what happens when you don't store your polyurethane properly. It's all thick and gel-like, and over top there is this layer of cured stuff. So this is junk, unfortunately. See how thick that is? This is what it should be. You don't want to shake your polyurethane, in case you didn't know that. You get air bubbles. Yeah. See how thin that is. So, give it a good mix, nice and gently. There's always like a glob of stuff at the bottom. I'm just gonna mix it. See all that stuff? Just mix it all in. Takes a while, but it's necessary. Alright, so way to properly store it, one of the ways is to clean out all this stuff in here. Make sure it's nice and cleaned out so that you can get a proper seal. Now, I'm not done using it yet. I'm going to come back and do a second coat, but I'm just going to show you guys. I'm just using some paper towel here. Okay. Put your lid on. And again. just to prevent some splatter, just in case, and put the paper towel on. And then store it upside down. And that should help extend the life. And then maybe don't store it, you know, in your garage where it is unbelievably hot, like it is here in South Texas.
Between each top coat, I give it a light sanding in between. And like I said, I did a total of 3 on the top and then 2 on the bases, just because it's a nightstand and I feel like it's gonna, you know, you put a cup of coffee on there or a cup of water or something like that. And so I just wanted to make doubly sure that it was going to be nice and solid. And then after I was done putting all the coats that I wanted on there, I went in with a 2500 grit and I just lightly sanded it just to get rid of any, it's almost like I just wiped it off with this thing. So I wanted to just show you guys, for this large drawer, this is the only thing that I found that might resemble a date. I don't know, is that 88? Maybe January 7th, or is that July 1st, 1988? I'm not sure. That's the only thing that I could find on this larger one for a date. So we got this hardware on Amazon.